If you want to really succeed, you have to be the best that you can be.
She said, always reach for the stars. I said, yeah, but reach for the stars, I know you'll end up on the treetops at least.
There are no shortcuts to accomplishment.
Rooftop. She said, very good, you want to start at the top? I said, yes sir. Idiot, start in the basement. Swamiji, I want to ask you a very, very simple question, but I think that simple question is probably a very, very difficult question. We would consider ourselves, a lot of people sitting in this room would consider themselves successful. Students, you're successful students too. It doesn't mean that you have to make a few millions to consider yourself successful. People sitting in the first 5 rows are successful. They may have made millions. But what is then, and that's my difficult question, which is actually sounding like a very simple question, but it's not. What then is the definition of success?
Boman Irani ji, I have also pondered over this question a lot. The way we define success is so important for our life, because that is the bar against which we will measure our progress. And that will in fact be the direction that our life will take. So I would like to give 3 aspects to its definition. First is to do good, the second is to be good, and the third is to feel good. We all wish to do constructive and meaningful work. There was a woodcutter working in a farm. A social researcher said, you work for me, I will offer you twice the salary. He agreed, he came over. What do I need to do? The researcher said, here is the axe. You go and start hitting the tree. The only thing is, you will hit with the round side of the head, not the sharp edge. He said, I'll never be able to cut it. The researcher said, how does it matter? I'm giving you double the salary. So he said, all right, and he started off. After 3 days of effort, he came back. Here is your axe. I'm not interested in working. The researcher said, I'm giving you twice the salary. What is the problem?
What's the problem?
He said, I need to see the chips flying. I need to see that my work is making a difference. So that is the common urge in all of us. Ultimately, we are spending 12 hours of our day working, and we would like to see it making a difference. So to do the best that you can do. And as we grow up in life, as you proceed on your journey, when you come to the age of Mr. Boman Irani and myself, you will realize that there are no shortcuts to accomplishment. If you want to really succeed, you have to be the best that you can be. In other words, install within yourself noble qualities and virtues to be truly good. That is what is going to satisfy us from within. And then the third thing, to feel good, to feel happy at the end of the day. There was a youngster. He made his idea of success and he put down a list. What is it that I want to strive for in life? I would like a BMW car, and I'd like this kind of a job and this kind of a wife, etc. And then he went and showed it to a wise man in his locality. The wise man said, youngster, your list is pretty good. There's one thing missing in it. Without that one thing, it's all useless. And that one thing is peace of mind. If you don't have it, what do you have? So the third aspect, the first is to do good, the second is to be good, and the third is to feel good. So, Boman Irani ji, let me ask a question to you. Yours is an exemplary story of rising to the top from the bottom of the ladder. I read that your first job was as a waiter, From there, you have risen to the extent that you are commanding so much of respect of so many in our nation. So, what was the inspiration that transformed your life?
I'd like to say this, Swamiji, first of all, that when I set out to become a waiter, I never felt I was at the bottom of things. I wanted to be the best waiter in the world. So my take is very simple. I mean, people are waiters all their lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as they are happy doing what they're doing, and they're being the best version of themselves while being a waiter. So when I decided to be a waiter, by the way, I'm in an educational institution, and I feel afraid to say this, but I was a terrible student. When I passed ICSE, I passed with a high third class. But I took an assessment of myself and said, this is what I am. What should I do? I can't be a doctor, I can't be an engineer, I can't be a lawyer. I didn't have 96%. I don't know why everybody who cannot be 96%, their parents expect even students with a lesser capacity to study, they expect if the child doesn't get 96%, they call them duffer. You're not a duffer, you're just not good at those subjects. You're good at other subjects. Test them on those subjects. Engineering students, all of them can't sing, all of them can't act. If we tested you in acting and said you didn't get 96% in acting, will I call you engineering students a duffers? No. So I said, I went to my granny, I went to my grandma, and I said, I want to be a waiter. She said, very good, be the best waiter. I said, very good. My grandma came from Iran on a donkey. Huh? I'm not joking, this is not a biblical story, this is a person I've met. They came on a donkey in a sailboat, and she said, no, but be the best waiter. So I learned that from there. She said, always reach for the stars. Always reach for the stars, Granny said. So I said, yeah, but reach for the stars, I know you'll end up on the treetops at least. So I said, let's go to Taj Mahal Hotel, the best hotel. Go to the best hotels. I went to the best hotel, there was this Parsi manager over there. Real khadus. All Parsis are khadus only. And he said, so which department, I was telling you this morning, which department do you want to work in? So I said, thoda style se baat karega. Food and beverage. So he's saying, idiot, the whole hotel business is about food and beverage. Which department? I said, rooftop. The Rendezvous restaurant, the French restaurant. Rooftop. He's saying, very good, you want to start at the top? I said, yes sir, idiot, start in the basement. That's the lesson I learned. That what you said just now, I'm taking a leaf out of what you just said. There are no magic bullets, there are no shortcuts. And that one lesson got stuck in my head, that if you want to go there, and that's metaphor for you, straight, from the basement to the rooftop. I learned that I had to walk miles and miles and miles of Taj Mahal passageways with trays on my shoulder. Miles. I remember my shoes used to tear, and the webbing in my feet used to tear. And I used to show off. I had nothing else to show except the torn webbing in my feet. I'm proud of it. And I used to make tips. I made 5 rupees was my first tip. And I said, all those who thought that this duffer Baman will not succeed, I started. I made 5 rupees. And I'm proud of it. And finally, I did reach the rendezvous. I did reach the rooftop. There are no shortcuts, my friends. There are no shortcuts. Absolutely right.
Beautiful.